Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. Woo! Top Rank's Bob Arum says that he deaded a fight with Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao because he didn't want Pacquiao to get fucked up, basically. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chat, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working now. I got one for y'all. Shout out to the channel members. Fight Hub did an interview with Bob Arum, hot off the presses. The link to their full interview, check it out, is in the description. Bob Arum did a sit down and he said some very interesting things. You've seen the title of this video. Go watch it for yourself. Listen to it for yourself. The link is in the description. Once again, people. Basically, the host, Marcos, said, so what if Manny Pacquiao, you heard from him, you know, even though he's not signed with you, but you heard from him and he said he wanted to fight Terence Crawford. And Bob Arum candidly says, he said, I killed the fight. Like, basically, when Pacquiao was with Top Rank and Crawford still is with Top Rank, he killed the fight, right? He said he deaded it because he didn't want it to end how he knew it would end. He says, I don't know if Manny would get like a disability from it. I can't predict that. But he says it would only end one way, and the quality of life for Manny Pacquiao, you know, could be altered dealing with a guy like Terence Crawford. So basically, in layman's terms, he didn't want Pacquiao to get fucked up. You know, let's not beat around the bush. That's what he's saying. He believes that Terence Bud Crawford would have been too much. And he was just off the heels of talking about how older fighters should just retire, guys like Floyd Mayweather, because they don't typically look the same. And he said your skull, your cranium, getting that, it doesn't absorb the shots as well, you know, like blunt force trauma. And wow, he just said it outright that he pulled the plug and made sure that fight didn't happen because he wouldn't want to see it, basically. So once again, new media continues to lead the charge. I told you it's a new time, Death Row East. I told you, this pretty much deads it. I told you that there was something going on within when Pacquiao was with Top Rank, and it was on the Pacquiao side that was preventing him from fighting Terence Crawford, because the names, HBO wanted it when they were in the boxing business. Max Kellerman interviewed both fighters, asking them about each other. They've asked Pacquiao about fighting Terence Crawford. I've seen several interviews outside of HBO too. You know, watch the De'Aaron Jean Terence Crawford fight. That specifically, I have a pretty good memory. After that fight, they asked him about this. De'Aaron Jean was a while ago, you know, so that's proof of one fight off the top of my head where I know Max Kellerman was asking. It was around that time, probably a little bit before that. All right. And Max Kellerman said, what about Pacquiao? Terence Crawford says, yeah, I'm not ducking nobody. I would love a Pacquiao fight. You know, Pacquiao's been mentioned to Crawford multiple times, and Bomac. They all said they would take the fight, but, you know, they got their own legacy. Pacquiao's a legend, and I'm not going to chase it, you know. And when I made videos, the videos are up on the channel, people. Go check the videos. I was getting called names. They were saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, yada, yada, yada. Once again, the truth always comes out. So I would like an apology. No, but I mean, Bob Arum, he just told you out of his own mouth. He's the founder and the man in charge at Top Rank. He said he don't want to see that. You know, which is weird because I know there's interview. Just type it. You know, you never know in boxing. People say stuff and then switch it, and behind the scenes is something different. You know, but I remember Bob Arum saying he wanted the fight, you know. But now he's saying he deaded it. But I will say in this particular interview, it sounded like Bob Arum was hating a lot. You know, he was saying Manny Pacquiao versus Broner was like a huge gamble because you had to pay Pacquiao $25 million, and that's high risk. I wouldn't want to take that gamble and lose the potential money that you lost. And the host said I heard the fight, the reports suggest that Adrian Broner versus Pacquiao did 400,000 buys. And he's like, it didn't do 400,000 buys. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I know that for a fact it didn't do that. He said the pay-per-view buys, there's no accountability, numbers are inflated, and it didn't do that. I know it. Which is funny because Pacquiao, when he was with Top Rank, fought on a Top Rank pay-per-view against Jesse Vargas, the WBO champion of the world. And they said that fight did 375, somewhere in there, 1,000 buys. So why would it be inconceivable that Pacquiao has a new situation with Al Heyman, in a fresh fight for 2019? Why is it inconceivable that fight did 400,000? I don't know what information Bob Arum heard, but it seems like Al Heyman's competitors. I think Eddie Hearn just said the same thing. Like, it didn't do 400,000. Well, it's funny. So we have to believe when Eddie Hearn says that Joshua's fights had 86,000 people that bought tickets. We have to believe that. When Bob Arum says Pacquiao versus Vargas, which was a Top Rank fight, did X amount of pay-per-view buys, 300-something thousand, we're supposed to believe that. But then when it comes to Pacquiao has no ties any longer with Top Rank, now all of a sudden we can't believe that. Those aren't the true numbers. A lot of politics in this game. But throughout this interview, Bob Arum seemed a bit cranky, and he seemed like he was hating. He was hating on Floyd, making excuses for Vasily Lomachenko, in my opinion. He said the question was simple. Jose Ramirez was interested in fighting against Lomachenko. And then Bob Arum was like, I don't know, because Vasily Lomachenko, he's a featherweight. No, he's not. He's a lightweight. It doesn't matter where he started. He's fighting at lightweight, so that's only one division up. And Bob Arum was like, we don't know if he can move up to 140. But then he goes on to say Lomachenko is the best fighter he's ever seen. But that doesn't even make sense to me, because you look at guys like Cotto, guys like Floyd Mayweather, guys like Oscar De La Hoya, and guys like Manny Pacquiao. They moved up more weight classes than that. And you're saying Lomachenko's better than all of them, but sound apprehensive to let him fight at 140. He sounds topped out at lightweight. When Jose Ramirez fought Vasily Lomachenko in the amateurs, in the World Boxing Series or whatnot, and they fought, Lomachenko beat Ramirez, but things changed. Ramirez he has a good size to him at 140. He sparred with Pacquiao, things like that. He's a champion now with the WBC. He's about to fight in Fresno. But now Arum saying that I don't think, it doesn't sound like he's interested in making Lomachenko move up to 140. And this is the same thing. Lomachenko said he don't want to fight old man Pacquiao. It sounds like he doesn't want to go to 140 because he knows that those are going to be difficult fights. But then in the same breath, Bob Arum is saying Lomachenko is the most technical, gifted fighter that he's ever seen. So what about Floyd Mayweather? Floyd Mayweather went up and beat Oscar De La Hoya at 54, Miguel Cotto at 54. These are Hall of Famers. Canelo will be a Hall of Famer. He beat him at 152. Guys that were bigger than him, moved up 5 weight classes. Pacquiao moved up 8. So to me, that doesn't make sense. And then the host starts asking Bob Arum, but yeah, guys like Pacquiao, he moved up 8 weight classes. And, Bob Arum tried to circumvent that by saying that Pacquiao, when he first started fighting, he was malnourished. And as a result of malnutrition, he was weighing a certain amount. And that's what enabled him to move up 8 divisions. But I don't buy that, because I get it. Okay, Pacquiao was in poverty, selling cigarettes, living on the street, selling donuts. I may want to sell donuts to the people. I get that. But at the end of the day, he still moved up 8 fucking weight classes. It don't matter if you're malnourished, because at a certain point when he started fighting Juan Manuel Marquez and Marco Antonio Barrera, he had been years removed from poverty. He was making good money, and he was still moving up after that point, fighting bigger guys. So that doesn't make sense. It's like you get a dog and rescue it from the shelter. The dog's probably gonna be fucked up, hair matted down, skinny, malnourished. I get that. But at the end of the day, if you clean the dog up, get them the shots at the vet, make sure they're cool, and then they rebuild and recuperate, then, you know, we're talking about something different. So it sounded like excuses to me for Lomachenko. And then as far as the Crawford, I mean, you already know what it is. He just said it. He said it out of his own mouth. I killed a Terence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao fight. And see, this is, once again, you see the common thread with promoters. A lot of times promoters will say stuff when they're not making no money with the fighter. You know, Eddie Hearns keeps talking about, oh, Deontay Wilder, he can't box, and, you know, he has power, but he can't box, and Tyson Fury has no power, but he can box, and Tyson Fury's boring. But Eddie Hearns tried to sign both of them. Same goes with Bob Arum. You know, Bob Arum met up with Pacquiao in the Philippines before Pacquiao officially signed. This is all fact. Bob Arum flew to the Philippines. I have a picture of Bob Arum eating dinner with Manny Pacquiao in the Philippines, trying to get Pacquiao, after the Matisse fight, to re-sign with Top Rank, you know? And now that Pacquiao has decided something else and moved his team, and, you know, Al Heyman's his advisor. I don't think he has Michael Conks anymore. He got his own brand new situation, back with Freddie Roach, still got Boo Boy, still got Justin Fortune, but he doesn't have Conks and he doesn't have Top Rank anymore. Now all of a sudden, you know, it's like, oh, Pacquiao needs to retire, and I don't want to see Mayweather Pacquiao, and Mayweather is not the same, you know, just hating, stuff like that. But if Top Rank's name was on that banner of Mayweather Pacquiao 2, you know Bob Arum would like a piece of that action. I mean, look at how much money Pacquiao just beat Broner, so his stock's up. He just knocked out Matisse, beat Broner, so he's on the up and up. He has a version of the belt, you know, so that counts to some people. And, you know, anybody who's a promoter, why wouldn't you want your name on the banner making the type of money you know that rematch will make? You got Freddie Roach running around saying Pacquiao has 2 good arms. You know the fight will sell. So I don't believe what Bob Arum's saying. He's making it sound like he just washed his hands and absolved himself of a Mayweather Pacquiao 2 fight. Like he wanted no parts. But if that was the case, then why'd you go to the Philippines trying to meet up with Pacquiao and get him to sign with you? But then now when you're talking about Pacquiao, you're making it like he's not really a star, and, you know, he's old and I don't want to see him get hurt. You know, that's hating, because if he was signed to you, you wouldn't be saying all this stuff about him, you know. And then the Lomachenko part, like I said, that was laughable. What he said about Floyd was laughable. He said Floyd's retired, he doesn't fight no more, this, that, and, you know, outside of George Foreman, more often than not, guys come back and don't look the same, which, you know, there's some truth to that. But he also cited Sugar Ray Leonard. He said, he said Sugar Ray Leonard came back out of retirement and looked horrible. And I'm thinking, like, I know my boxing history. How did Sugar Ray look horrible when he came out of retirement and then he beat Marvin Hagler at middleweight? You know what I'm saying? I know it's disputed, but a lot of people thought Sugar Ray actually won the fight too, you know? But he didn't look horrible. So I didn't even understand that reference point. But, you know, who am I? I'm just a Boxingego, just a boxing fan. But it's deaded. Arum is now on tape, on video. It's audible. You can watch it, saying that Terence Crawford, he killed the fight with Pacquiao, so it didn't happen. There's nothing you guys could say. So all them videos I was making in the past, once again, we've been exonerated. People were mad at me for making the videos. Now, I will say this, and I'm not trying to create issues or whatever. Terence Crawford is his own man. But that would probably have me a little bit perturbed if I'm Terence Crawford, knowing that he needs that. He's a great fighter. He's an elite fighter, all that. But he needs a name like Pacquiao. And then for Crawford's boss and Pacquiao's then boss to be now saying that, hey, I killed the fight and made sure it didn't happen, I would be kind of mad if I'm Crawford, because, you know, no one can doubt Crawford is skilled. The only thing I've seen haters say about Crawford is who's he beat, and oh, he only beat Felix Diaz and Victor Postal. So, you know, Crawford needs that big name. And then now with PBC being across the street, they got a lot of options. So it doesn't look like Crawford's going to get any of those fights in 2019. You know, he can fight Amir Khan, but that's not the same as a win over an undefeated Errol Spence or a win over, you know, Danny Garcia or something. So I would be kind of upset if I'm Terence Crawford that, you know, my boss, instead of like delivering that fight when I was down for it, you know, he's telling you that I made sure it didn't happen. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, Ego. Sign off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.